What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to take a look at a fusion between the first generation Rampage and the third generation Ninja Turtles Arcade1up cabinets. So the first generation Arcade1up cabinets really did have a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of hits, and one of them, maybe even the best one for me, was Rampage. But one of the biggest shortcomings was definitely that control panel. 3 players on a 19-inch control panel isn't ideal, to say the least. Now when the third generation finally rolled around, we got our first look at a Arcade1up version of a 4-player control panel, and once again, while it may not be ideal, it was definitely playable. So I always wondered, what would it be like if we could have gotten a true third generation Rampage cabinet, taking advantage of the real estate of a 4-player control panel, but obviously minus 1 player would give you a lot more room and make it much more comfortable. So logically, I think that if you wanted to go about this modification, expanding that control panel, the cheapest way, you would start with a Rampage cabinet, if you can find one in good quality. And assuming that everything else is in really good shape, you probably want to add a lit marquee and then just go maybe aftermarket. There's a lot of different companies out there that make control panels that expand the width of that Rampage cabinet. It's kind of a one-stop shop. The graphics are already there, and you're ready to go. But that can be a little bit expensive, and maybe it doesn't give you exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you want to fully get that third generation experience, you're going to have to do more than just swap out the control deck, because remember, a couple big things changed when it came to the third generation. It wasn't just an available lit marquee. Number one for me is definitely going to be the fact that we got a much better screen, and it's also leaned back a little bit so that we can actually have speakers where they're supposed to be, above the monitor. And yes, now we have stereo. We're no longer restricted to that single mono speaker. Okay, so what I'm thinking is basically this. You could just go ahead and find yourself a 4-player cabinet. Really doesn't have to be Ninja Turtles. It could be any one of those third generation cabinets. And really what you're after is this base here, this bottom plastic. It's going to allow you to have a very nice, clean installation, and it's going to allow you to kind of fit this on the side rails of that first generation cabinet, and you're going to be good to go. Now there's going to be a few things you're going to have to change. This dimension is going to be shorter when you're talking about that the first generation cabinets. But you know that if you're going to change the layout of this, you're going to start with a fresh piece of MDF. So that's definitely one way to go about it. You just take a 4-player, control deck that you can find on eBay or maybe locally on Facebook Marketplace for Ninja Turtles or the Golden Axe or NBA Jam, whatever. And then take that and modify it, and away you go. But you're still going to be stuck with that mono speaker kind of in the control panel. So what you're going to have to do is modify this, which if you're going to modify it for 3 players, maybe that's no big deal, but I just don't like the idea of going through all this trouble to retain that speaker in the control deck. It's I don't know, I just don't like it. Okay, so here's my idea. I know you can't just take the PCB off that monitor and put it on a third generation monitor. It's not going to be the same. It's not really going to be compatible. It's not designed to power this monitor. It's designed to power that monitor. But if we take it and we put it in this third generation cabinet, we're going to be leaning it back. Is that going to really mess up your viewing angle? Is it going to make the monitor seem completely washed out and making it unusable? I don't know, but I think I definitely want to try that out. But the backup plan is going to be that if for some reason that monitor just doesn't look good leaning back at this angle, that's fine. We're going to leave it the same. All we'll do is we'll take and modify that control panel. And all I'm going to use off this Ninja Turtles cabinet is really just going to be this plastic base here. So this cabinet will remain unmolested, untouched, and probably be resold. But ideally, what I want to do is I want to take advantage of this green tea molding, this third generation design, and swap over that monitor PCB combo, put it over here, and then if that works out great, modify this. We keep all of this green tea molding on everything, right? And then, we'll get a lit marquee, we'll get some brand new art, and this will be, I hope, fingers crossed, the ideal Rampage cabinet. All right, that's enough talking for now. Let's get into it. So with the Rampage monitor mounted in the stock location, you can see there's a little bit of exposed MDF on the top, but when it comes to those viewing angles, they're really not that bad. I think this is actually a little bit better than that stock Golden Tee XL monitor. So with that decided, it's time to go ahead and move on to the next step, which is the audio modification. Now the only adapter needed to make the audio work is going to be a 3.5mm terminal block cable from Amazon. Next up, you want to cut and strip the 2 wires that attach to the speaker and then connect those to the terminal end of this cable. The connector does not have to be the ones for your speaker specifically. It's really any 2-wire connector that fits your encoder board. I'm actually using a different set of wires from another project I had laying around. Okay, so that was actually pretty easy. And I know some of you are going to be saying, what is the point of all this? We've gotten all these games in different cabinets and different iterations. You know, what's the point? I think there's probably a case to be made for Final Fight, but I think of all the first-gen cabinets, this is the one that really deserves this the most, to take advantage of those 3 joysticks, because this was the only cabinet that ever came with a 3-player setup. All right, so next up we're going to design the new control deck. I've got to do some touch-up around here. You can see some of the MDF exposed around the sides where maybe this isn't quite exactly a perfect fit. I'm going to probably just hit that with some black paint so it disappears completely. And then, of course, new graphics. Thanks for stopping by, checking out the channel, checking out this project. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time.